So having said all that, just trying to be a bit more tangible about the kind of things that we can do. So we have a proprietary SJT format which we use and develop with a number of different clients, and we've been able to focus on looking at what we think are some of the broader areas of engagement where there's sort of less information and data out there. So it's something we can look at quite tangibly, and I'd argue that many people who develop or use assessments could be looking at things like commitment to the process through candidate withdrawal rates. So looking at the stages of an assessment process and looking at your dropout, your candidate attrition through the process. So with one of our large clients, we looked at the rate of withdrawal at the online testing stage. So candidates saying, this is not for me, I'm dropping out at this point. So in 2012, before we started using our SJT, they had a 29% dropout rate at that online assessment stage. A few years later, we were able to look at how the introduction of our SJT at that online testing stage had impacted withdrawal, and it dropped to 5%. So that's just one example of the kind of metrics you could be looking at, alongside enjoyment, engagement, and fun, other things that more broadly feed into this idea of engagement with the process. So the idea that candidates are staying in, they're committed to the process, and hopefully that commitment follows through to actually one there in the role afterwards. And I think crucially as well, it's worth pointing out that we shouldn't focus on just one area within that broad model at the expense of others. So just an example again of that SJT format, which we've been able to look at in terms of some of the other things. So an example here of the D&I area within our model. So actually seeing really positive fairness information from that. So my only point really here is that we're not trying to focus on one particular area, and I think we can all do it as assessment developers and practitioners. We get hooked on one particular area and say we're going to really focus on building engagement, we're going to really focus on quality or efficiency. But as Martin said, that CIPD data and our research suggests that really broad model of 5 areas is important to try and balance all of those considerations. And that's the challenge really for us as a practitioner and assessment developer community.